Imagine a political figure with no family dynasty, no massive financial backing, and absolutely no electoral history. For decades, he never fought a single election. Yet one morning, he is handed control of an entire state. 13 years later, he assumes control of the world's largest democracy. The conventional playbook for acquiring power demands noise. You fight for your ticket, you aggressively debate your rivals, and you publicly declare your ambitions. He did the exact opposite. When he finally made his move for the highest office, the party already had a formidable old guard. Men who had spent half a century building the organization suddenly found themselves quietly sidelined, outmaneuvered without a single public war. The mechanics of this rise reveal a highly calculated approach to human psychology. It is a silent strategy of power that applies just as effectively to climbing a corporate ladder as it does to running a country. In Indian politics, the traditional ladder is rigid. You win a local election, become a legislator, wait for a cabinet portfolio, and eventually aim for the chief minister's chair. Instead of climbing that ladder, he decided to hold it for others. He spent his foundational decades entirely out of the public eye, embedded deeply within the party's organizational machinery. His primary function was managing the cadre and ensuring other people won their campaigns. Every seat demanded at a political table creates a rival who wants that exact spot. By shifting that energy toward helping others secure their own positions, he converted potential competitors into a growing network of indebted allies. By refusing to act like a typical politician, he removed the target from his back. He became part of the party's structural foundation, an asset that the senior leadership relied upon, rather than a competitor they needed to suppress. That dynamic was tested in the winter of 2001. Following a devastating earthquake in Gujarat, the ruling state government fractured under immense public anger and administrative failures. The high command in Delhi faced a severe dilemma. The local leaders were highly factionalized, openly fighting each other for control. The party desperately needed someone disciplined who could restore order without favoring one specific group. Because he had spent years strictly organizing the party rather than building a personal fiefdom, the senior leadership viewed him as a perfectly safe, neutral compromise. They handed him the state. He was sworn in as chief minister before he ever held a legislative seat, utilizing a constitutional rule that allowed him a 6-month window to finally face the voters. In a collapsed system, leadership gravitates toward the individual with the strongest existing network and the lowest visible ego. Over the next decade, the focus shifted. While established leaders spent their energy navigating the daily friction of national politics in Delhi, he isolated himself in his state, obsessively crafting an image of heavy investment and sharp administration. He strictly avoided direct confrontations with the party's national figures. There were no public demands to be named the prime ministerial candidate, and no open challenges to the hierarchy. Instead of asking the bosses for a promotion, he went directly to the base. He cultivated such immense popularity on the ground that the massive cadre effectively forced the leadership's hand. The public pressure became too large to ignore. Author Robert Greene codifies this exact behavior in his 48 Laws of Power. The principle is highly specific: conceal your intentions. Had he signaled this national ambition in 2005, he would have faced the combined resistance of the party's entire senior tier. By maintaining a focus on his state until 2013, he arrived in Delhi backed by a massive mandate that the existing party hierarchy was forced to accept. These mechanics of leverage map directly onto corporate ladders and business growth. Rule 1. Build capacity before you demand the title. The value you provide to an organization must precede your request for promotion. Rule 2. Become structurally indispensable. If you build a deep, quiet network of reliance, your superiors will naturally turn to you the moment a crisis hits, simply because they have no other viable option. Rule 3. Do not broadcast your ultimate goals. Broadcasting your ambitions prematurely doesn't accelerate your rise. It gives your rivals an early start on building roadblocks. The competitor who prepares in absolute silence remains the most difficult to counter. Which of these 3 rules do you find most powerful for your own work? Let me know in the comments below.